Good morning, Berlin! I'm your host, Peter Hochstetter. Let's get right into the stories of the week. Our top story, a major lawsuit by the Ministry of the Interior against the Ministry of War. Dismissed before it even began. The Interior Ministry accused War Minister Ludwig von Saarbrücken of unlawfully seizing government power, suspending civil rights, and overriding ministries, and installing military governors under the so-called siege law. They claimed the War Ministry bypassed the Crown mandate and the Constitution, all while threatening martial sanction for resistance. The courtroom was packed on trial day. Ministers, generals, even civilians gathered to witness the showdown. Ludwig sat at the defense stand. But prosecution never showed. In a dramatic moment, Chief Justice and Justice Minister Candy stood and declared, quote, "If anyone is able and willing to prosecute, step forward now, or the charges will be dismissed," unquote. He counted down from 5. No one rose. The case was dismissed. A historic showdown that never happened. Big news from the Federal Council. The Finance Ministry has officially won its battle to reduce Crown payments from a steep 30% down to just 10% of its monthly budget. The original petition asked to return the historic 7.5% rate, and the council agreed, but not without drama. Prince Regent Landavat, representing the Crown, revealed that the original 30% order was fraudulent, signed using a forged imperial signature. As a result, the Crown accepted the rate reduction, but issued a punitive bump to 10% instead of the 7.5%. Despite the slap on the wrist, the finance minister seemed pleased, calling it a relief. For more on this, we cut to Minister of Finance Von Daschner.
I'm really glad that my petition to the Crown was accepted. While I think that the office of the sovereign deserves so much money, I think that it's my job to bring wealth to the sovereign. And there's more wealth to be gained in funding our various ministries than in just simply giving money to the sovereign. So having that 30% get cut down to 10% truly really helped our glorious empire function.
Big news in the west of the empire. Vos Colliers has thundered into the iron industry with its electrifying acquisition of a massive new mine in the Ruhr Valley, unleashing a wave of opportunity that has put thousands of Germans back to work and sparked a powerful resurgence in the region's civilian economy. Newly appointed Prime Minister Lucius Helge wasted no time asserting his leadership style, appointing Malakim Foros as acting Minister of State while reaffirming him as Sergeant-at-Arms of the Federal Council. Meanwhile, Attorney General Werner Lindemann has been suspended, pending removal, with the Prime Minister citing public frustration and unfit performance. Let's take a break from our stories this week and learn about this week's weather. Conducting our weather report this week is the new Minister of Truth himself, Senator Erdrigan Voss. Senator, what's it looking like out there?
Thank you very much, Peter. You'll notice the sun has turned blood red this week, but other than that, it's still very fucking hot outside. Every day, from today, tomorrow, till Sunday. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Senator Voss. Now, moving on, our top story this week, a new era begins in the German Empire, and it starts with the complete suspension of elections. In a sweeping new decree titled, quote, "For a safe and secure society," unquote, His Majesty Hendrik Baumer has abolished national elections and assumed the office of the presidency, renaming it the office of chancellor. The former president has been removed from power, and now His Majesty, acting in the capacity as head of state and head of government. With this, the office of chancellor replaces the presidency in all laws and government documents. All future elections are cancelled indefinitely. As part of this sweeping transformation, the small council has been dissolved. A new system of imperial directives will now hold the full force of law, replacing the crown mandate. The doctrine of imperial princip is established, meaning the emperor's word, when given in official capacity, is now law. The change also creates questions, especially about the Presidential Security Division. Formed specifically to protect the presidency, the PSD may soon become obsolete. After all, the Emperor already has his own guard detachment that handles personal protection for the crown. We now cut to Hans T. Winter, chief of the PSD, for his thoughts on the future of his beloved organization.
At this current moment, we don't really know what's going to happen. We're hoping some more legislature is going to come out. and define what our jobs will be. The PSD is a strong brotherhood, and we hope in the future that we will continue to be a strong brotherhood.
In other news, from the same set of decrees, Ludwig von Saarbrücken, once Minister of War, then Kriegsmarshal, now takes a surprising turn inward as he is appointed Minister of Interior, Chief of German Police, and Senator. A flurry of loyal military men, followers of Saarbrücken, have reportedly put in their transfer paper requests to join the former Minister of War in his new era as leader of the Interior. What lies ahead for his legacy and role in internal state affairs? For more on this, let's hear from Richard Kaltenbrunner, head of the Landespolizei.
So, well, I look forward to his leadership, and he did very good as the Kriegsmarshal, and I have high hopes he's going to also do good as Interior Minister to fix this organization that has been in a bad state for so long. The Landespolizei is always looking for new police officers to join the police force. We are always in need of new police officers. If you wish to join the police force, you might come to the police station and find an NCO or an officer of the Landespolizei to get you recruited.
And finally, Erdogin Voss. He has had a whirlwind of changes occur to him. First, he was dismissed entirely during the suspension of the White Rose Coalition, along with all inquisitors and party leaders. But hours later, he returned, this time, appointed as Minister of Truth and Society, and made a senator. Let's get Mr. Voss's opinion on his roller coaster of a day straight from the man himself.
In regards to my removal as coalition curator, as chairman of the White Rose Coalition, it is a bit of an upset, but His Majesty's will is indomitable and unquestionable. I believe it is, if he has so decreed, and I believe it is in the best interest of the party that I accept my dismissal as chairman of the White Rose Coalition. However, it is also to be said that I thank His Majesty and members of the Crown for assisting me in finding a new position of which I hope to shine within the Ministry of Truth as its leader, as the leader of the Ministry of Truth, as Minister of Truth.
The Emperor has also decreed the creation of a new law for the organization of the White Rose Coalition, signaling a full rebranding of the ruling party under direct imperial alignment. As of today, the entire state apparatus, executive, military, and party flows through the Emperor, now Chancellor. One man, one office, one voice of law. That concludes our show for this week, Berlin. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning, Berlin. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay informed. As always, I'm Peter Hochstetter, and see you in the next reel.